Alright, so in this video we are going to quickly review Modulo 11 and what's the algorithm for that. Just like in ISBN 13, if you have watched that video to revise that concept, we had to write down the positions. Well, over here also we have to write down positions, but we will write down the position from the right, and we won't start with 1. We will start with 2 instead. Okay, so positions, and we need to start with the position 2 over here. Actually, let me write this down with a different color. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Alright, so these are the numbers we have. Over here what you need to do is actually you need to take all these, wait, you need to take all those numbers, and instead of adding all the even position numbers and odd position numbers, what you need to do is you have to multiply the number by the position that it has been given. Alright, so it has been given. Okay, so let me just use different colors so that it's easy to see which number I'm going to multiply with. Right, so let's do this quickly. Right, so I have 2 times 2, that's going to be 4. Okay, let me actually write this down. So the first step is write down the positions starting from the right and starting with the number 2. Right, so those are the positions that we have, starting with 2 and from the right hand side instead of from the left hand side. Okay, make sure that you are hearing that correctly. Second step is multiply each digit with given position and add the products. Okay, what is a product? Basically what the result you get after multiplying that number, right? So what do we get over here? We get 2 times 2, which is 4. We get 8 times 3, which is going to be 24. Then we get 3 times 4, which is going to be 12. And then we get 8 times 5, which is going to be 40, right? And we get 0 times 6, so that's going to be 0. And then we get 0 times 7, that's again going to be 0. Then we get 8 times 4 times 8 instead, which is going to be 32. Then we get 3 times 9, which is going to be 27. Then we get 0 times 10, so that's 0. 1 times 11, so that's 11. 12 times 3, that's 36. And then we get 2 times 3, which is going to be 26. Let me bring this to all to the center. Okay, so this is the result of multiplying each digit with given position. Okay, and then the next thing we need to do is add all these numbers together. Okay, so let's add these numbers. So 26 plus 36, that's going to be 62, plus 11, that should be 73. Then we have 27 and 32, that should be 59. Then we have 40 plus 12 plus 24, so 40 plus 12 is going to be 52. Then we have 24, that should be 76. Then we have 4 more, so that's going to be 80. Now, and let's add these partial sums. 73 plus 59, That should be 132 plus 80, that's going to be 212. Okay, so the answer we got was 212. That's our second part, and that's probably the only lengthy part that you are going to have on the exam. Okay, now once you have this answer, the next thing you need to do is quite similar to what we did in our ISBN 30, which is we are going to divide it, but we are not going to divide it by 10. We are going to divide it by 11 instead, hence the name modulo 11. Okay, so we divide this 212 with 11. Okay, let's actually show this division over here, right? So 212 and divide by 11, and we don't just need to divide, we then need to take the remainder also, and then take remainder. Okay, so be sure you are able to divide 212 with 11, and again we don't need the final answer, all we need is just the remainder of this calculation. Okay, an easy way of doing that is try to get as close to 212 as much as possible. So the one number that came to my mind is, let's try to multiply 11 by 20, right? So what's 11 by 20? 11 times 10 is 110, so 11 times 20 is going to be 220, right? Now that's greater than this, right? So maybe let's try 11 times 19, which is just going to be 220 minus 11, right? So that's going to be 109, right? So 109, and that's by 19 when we multiply it with 19. So the remainder that we are getting over here is going to be 3, and that's exactly what we needed, right? We needed to divide 11 and take the remainder. Divide by 11 and take the remainder. Once we have the remainder, the last step is again quite similar to what we did in ISBN 13. Subtract remainder from 11. Again, in ISBN 13, we had to subtract the remainder from 10. Over here, we have to subtract the remainder from 11. So 11 minus 3, that is going to be a total of 8. So this 8 is going to be our check digit. All right. So that's a quick revision on modulo 11.